Welcome back, everybody. Second game of the day, Granit versus Dusty, and I need to correct myself. This means diddly squat. With the Resolve loss, there is no way that Granit and Resolve enter into a tiebreaker situation. So regardless of the outcome of this match, we will be seeing the bottom end of Group A stay the same way. So this is purely a match for bragging rights and just for a final way to bow out of that regular season before those playoffs start. Now, most people have gone for Granit in this situation. Dusty have not had the best of seasons, and Granit have actually had some really good performances. So I think it is the relatively sensible choice based on, you know, what we've seen from these two teams throughout the NLC split so far.
I want to see fisticuffs. I don't care about predictions anymore. Yeah. No, now that this game technically means nothing, the standings can't change. I just want to see some fights. I don't care. Let Warzy get his Zoe, things like that. Let Braybro get Jinx. I want to just see bloodbath start to finish. Give me a scrim game. That's what I'm asking for right now.
It's a limit test, and I feel like as well, sometimes you do get these moments where a team, when the pressure is no longer on, can actually perform better, just because there's not as much focus on trying to do your best in terms of like securing a win, but you just sort of relax into it and you perform better as a result. It's more like your typical, very practiced solo queue.
Well, looks like the bans are relatively normal. So if we're not going to get any crazy drafts right now, just based on the drafts alone, the bans alone, the Xin Zhao ban comes through, means that we have things like Viego and Gwen still left on the table if Granit wants to take those away. Yeah,
one of them's going to have to be up as well. So I wouldn't mind seeing Granit not ban either and they just trade between the two. I think that would maybe be a good shout for them, unless they really don't want to play against one or the other. I think removing something like, Sawyer's Diana or even Zombie's Set would be a pretty good option. If you are taking the draft fully seriously, which right now, by the bans, they definitely are. But time is ticking. Let's see what they're going to do. It will be Viego. So Gwen's going to be up. If Dusty do pick up the Gwen, you can respond with the Set Diana, which, Hesera loves Set, and the decision probably can play Diana as well.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like the Gwen can be punished in the early game quite heavily. I feel like, obviously, it does scale up to be an absolute monster, but there is windows of opportunity where you can apply that pressure. So potentially looking to see that. Obviously, the flexibility of it still makes it a little bit difficult to sort of predict where it is, but Granit looking like they may end up responding with Tristana, which I expect to be Babe Rose, but it is in theory a flex, but it's typically something we've seen put into the bot lane for him.
We'll see the Tristana come through, like you said. Let's see for the second pick, the Set, as Jamada mentioned, it's something that Hesera likes to play, and people like it as an answer, as you said, into things like the Gwen. We'll see if Granit do lock that in. It wouldn't surprise me, and they do. So that will be that Set. The Diana, maybe they're convinced that they can leave that a little later on in the draft, as you said, wanting to secure themselves that Tristana Orcs. We'll see. Dusty now looking for their options. The Renekton, which has been obviously pretty popular for the last few months, would not be surprised to see that get locked in. It gives them a bit of flexibility in where those lanes are assigned as well, given that Gwen has flexibility in where she goes to. What else would you like to see on this draft? What would be a really strong final round out to this B3 draft here?
I think for Dusty, maybe one means of engage, something like Nautilus or just Leona, either one. I think rounding yourself out like that wouldn't be too bad. That being said, you haven't locked in an AD carry yet for M-Test, and obviously the Tristana is there on the table as well. So, split decisions definitely gonna have to be made here for Dusty. They've got to sacrifice one or the other, most definitely. And it looks like it will be M-Test AD carry pool for now. I think when you've got Gwen and you've got Renekton, you need some setup to facilitate these two champions, so Nautilus is definitely going to be doing that.
How to pick up the Granit here. Sorry, yep. Usually you guys are so chatty. I like to sit back and draft. This is not my area of expertise.
I'm just thinking things through. I think, they have options here. Jungle can make sense. If you want to get in this rotation, you can then ban away and kind of force Gwen into that jungle role. You could go something like, support, but they end up blocking the Diana. So they have that Diana Set combo, really strong engage potential. Tristana's still alive as a flex, and you have an AP jungler, so it makes more sense to put that in the mid lane. So now you have a bit more freedom. I think Dusty going to be banning away supports here. I think Braum is a potential good one that you could target in this situation. There's so much engage on Granit. They really don't need a support like Nautilus, Leona, or those things to provide that extra layer. So I'd really like that. They could also take Alistar away just because it's comfort for Wixer. I think his best performances have been on that. And then for Granit, banning 80 carries makes the most sense in this situation. You could target mid or jungle to try and pigeonhole Gwen into one of those. Although, you try sort of ban one of the top side picks, so they sort of force Renekton top, Gwen jungle, or some orientation.
Yeah, I think Granit at the moment, the fact that they are having to deal with the Renekton, they're going to hold off on where they want to put Set. Definitely. There's the Leona ban. Like you called out, I'm expecting the Braum to follow up. And Granit, they've already removed away Ezreal. I think double AD carry ban is probably the smartest thing to do here. There's nothing else that Dusty are really showing. Maybe something aggressive like Kalista. If M-Test gets hands on that could definitely be a potentially irritating 2v2 to have to deal with, even if you get a pretty positive support matchup. Could look at another hyper carry as well. But instead, Lucian. Okay, so wanted to remove away Warzy's option there, but that does leave his Zoe up if he wants to play it. Because when it is up, often he will just lock it in, almost regardless of what the composition is. Braum removed away as sort of expected. So what does that really leave up for Wixo? You said the Alistar. I think that wouldn't be too bad. Wixo does lean on it a fair bit, so I think that would be okay. But I feel like you need another sort of like engager that doesn't necessarily always need flash or a flank, you know? But with the bans that like landing the way they have, I think it's going to be tough. Volley Bear is going to be locked in. Potentially, it's a hover. Surely, yeah, there you go. Orn. In the top lane. I don't know why I said it so wholeheartedly there. So Orn in the top side, probably Set in the mid lane. I wouldn't be surprised now to maybe see Dusty put the Renekton mid. However, Warzy kind of likes mages more, so I'm not too sure.
It could be Set support here. I don't like it. Personally, I think he's much better in the solo lane because obviously he scales so much better with AD now. But it could still in theory be that, and they keep the mid lane open. I'm kind of not a fan of putting the Set into mid so early, and just you can respond by taking the Darius. I mean, you look at the enemy team.
It's a good Darius looking.
Pretty short range until later in the game. Yeah. Set's melee range, Dan is melee range, Orn's melee range. The support pick, if it isn't the Set, probably going to be melee range. So as a result, I think Darius makes complete sense here.
Yeah, and I think what is kind of scary as well, outside of the Set and maybe like Diana, if she gets a little bit accelerated, there's not a lot of like crazy burst damage to just remove Darius out of the fight if you end up CCing him either. So especially if we see Dusty put their eggs in this Darius basket and he gets ahead and he gets tanky as well as having a bunch of damage, I'm not sure how Granit are necessarily going to deal with him, especially if he's just going to get a free lane at all.
Yeah, and we've seen a rise in Darius picks in general in competitive. Like we have seen more and more Darius picks in competitive in these drafts where, you know, you are relatively melee heavy and you can have relatively free lanes, and those team fights aren't as hard to negotiate for someone that classically has a pretty hard team fight to negotiate. But the Vayne gets locked in here. That's an interesting pickup. You know, Vayne often seen into kind of like low mobility melee bruisers on the front line like Darius, but you do obviously need the time to come through. That means we have a Set support though, and we have that on top, the Diana in the jungle and the Tristana mid coming through from Granit Gaming.
I don't mind how they've ended up with this draft, Granit. I think the Vayne has its merits here. I think it might struggle with Nautilus just kind of existing, but if we can get around that from the Granit point of view, I honestly think the Vayne pick can definitely thrive. I think there's definitely a little bit of a worry when you talk about some of the damage potential out of basically every champion here on Dusty. If she does get locked down even once, I think she will immediately die. But if Granit can grant her the freedom, I think she can pop off.
Yeah, I think the laner phase is okay because Dice, since the nerfs, doesn't get prio as easily, which is kind of the biggest issue for Vayne is contesting prio. He's kind of okay in those all-ins. Mid lane, it's Tristana, it's Renekton. You should be fine there. If he ever dashes in you should be able to buffer your jump away. There's still issues, like the Darius can still get a fair amount of value. The Gwen is still going to be powerful, but I feel like they've navigated this well and come out the other end in a pretty good spot. I was not completely convinced by some of their directions in the draft, but where they ended up, I think this is a really good Vayne pick for this match.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it plays out. Let's hand it over to Hitbrain and Foxdrop. Second game of the day. Take it away.
Second game of the day, second time we get some pretty spicy picks here. The Vayne getting locked in for Baby Brawl. We'll see how he's going to be able to handle that one. Just my quick thought. There's a lot of AD on Granit. There's a lot of AD right now. Their damage profile isn't mixed. It's AD and then true damage. That is their damage profile right now.
Hey, you've got Diana there as well, mixing some magic damage.
I'm an idiot. Don't worry. I'll completely reverse my point. I don't know why. I just kind of ignored the jungle. Yeah, okay, don't worry.
So jungle hasn't traditionally been a source of a damage profile, especially not magic damage. That's very new to like this season and this year. So yeah, I'll give you a slight pass on that one. But honestly,
we've had rumbles all year. Like what
I'm saying is before this year. This year. It wouldn't necessarily be like having an AP jungler. It was one of the main strengths of something like a Karthus, for example. It's like, oh my goodness, we can have AP in the jungle. That's unheard of. A little bit different this year. And Gwen, of course, on the other side, another magic damage focused champion. I really like the Darius and the Vayne though coming through from this draft. I love the Darius pick in general because if you're good at Darius, it's always a threat. And on top of that as well, like it was mentioned on the desk, there's a lot of low range from the side of Granit. But having the Vayne to respond, you know, if you can kite Darius away, that's his weakness. And a champion like Vayne is really good at doing that.
Absolutely. We have loaded through into the game. We're going in any moment now. I'm excited to see how to track this Darius, because like Jamada and Orcs were saying on the desk, Darius is great into low range team comps. He can get, you know, a massive heal off thanks to his Q. He got the reset city as well. There's a lot of damage, and this is kind of what you were hitting on as well during, you know, the last game. The current meta is these teams just do a lot of damage. There is so much burst in the game right now, and people don't get tankier. Everyone just gets stronger and stronger, and the fights get oh so explosive because of it. And bit of a stack here on the bottom side of the map as for some reason M-Test is top lane. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Wait.
Are they person swapping?
Surely.
No.
Why?
No way. That's such a weird pathing.
All right, as you do, just send your AD carry top just to scout out a little bit of info. And he's going to be going back.
Or anything.
No, I'm genuinely...
flabbergasted.
I'm a bit. That has flabbered my gosh, just a teeny weeny bit. You know, it's like there are times, man. There are times when you're casting and you're looking at what people are doing and you're trying to wrap your head around it. You don't quite get it, and then you just assume they're doing things that make sense because, I mean, given benefit their doubt. And that was a bit like last game with the Varus going on hit and not poke. And then the desk tore him a new one for doing that. And I was like, see, I knew that didn't make sense. And I can't wait to hear what the desk has to say about M-Test going top level 1. I mean, it's not exactly a massively impactful play. But I would like to know, like...
that play, let's be real. Completely over. They might as well FF
that's
now.
not going to be the drawing board play. Most likely it's going to be the drawing board play. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I could come up with any number of excuses as to why she did that and completely oversell it, but I don't know. It's probably just
at the end of the day, he just went top. That was it. I'll pause. Yep. We have more time to talk about that top play now. No, you know, it didn't lose anything. They didn't lose any wave. No. The buff play. It was a weird play, but it was a play nonetheless. In-game pause. It did look like it was just a very brief thing because I can see that everybody's readied up on our side already. So should be getting ready to go back into the game any moment now, and laning phase has begun. I'm just having a quick scout of the minimap to see where everything is. You've got the Darius already pretty deep in that top lane on the first wave. That's expected. Royal Cannon also, I think, playing pretty aggressive in his lane. Tristana versus Renekton, you expect that as well. And we're going to see what the lane state starts to look like in this bot side, because remember, Jamada said it on desk, Kai'Sa doesn't just get prio like she used to. She used to be so good at just walking in, pressing Q, and then that was it. The wave was in her favor. Completely different state of the lane now, and Vayne has always been considered a counter to the Kai'Sa as well. So see how Maybro's going to handle this.
You got two supports that are pretty good at running up and engaging as well. Nautilus obviously a bit better than the set at the engage, but either way, it's something that you're going to have to bear in mind. Like if you just land that engage, as we see one here, it's going to be able to take those cheeky trades. And, you know, if a jungler shows up at that time, like, there's not really a huge amount someone like Kai'Sa or Vayne, even the Nautilus set can do. You know, if a jungler shows up, like, it's great engaged capacity from both these teams, from both these supports. And you're kind of vulnerable as well. So,
yeah,
you might be able to see a bit of explosive stuff from Sawyer or from Indecision as they come down, if they decide to.
Well, we're seeing Wixo, obviously with the level 2 advantage to the side of Granit, is just laying up in this furthest bush closest to the tower. Royal Cannon, as expected on the Tristana, got that shove into the Renekton. Warzy can't really do too much about him. He slices in, Royal Cannon will just rocket jump away. Or hold his nerve like that.
Bust a shot already. I think we might get a pause again if that happened. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
It's Ultimate Spellbook. That's what we're playing.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we do tiebreakers on Ultimate Spellbook?
That is a good shout, actually. That is a good shout.
LCK used to have Blind Pick as their 5th game, didn't they? Why don't we do that?
I'm totally down for that.
That'd be great fun.
What's your
favorite combo? Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh my god, we're just about jinx, bro.
You owe me a soda. No, my first game was actually probably the best one I had. As that's what happens. I played Malphite mid, full AP Malphite mid, and I got Renekton. And it was so stupid.
I have a confession.
Because the thing is you do the old switcheroo. You'd come out of nowhere, hop in, and then ult someone else, and people didn't know where you were ulting. It was great.
Does it increase the hitbox of your Malphite R if you're huge from Renekton?
Not Renekton, Rengar. What am I talking about?
Rengar, sorry. Okay.
Rengar.
Okay.
Renekton.
I'm just imagining
Malphite.
Malphite.
When I said it, all right?
Yo, you know, like Rengar hops through the air. I'm imagining Malphite's animation when he hops through. Oh, that's good. That's brilliant. Yeah, that's a
Rengar was really nutty because you jump out of invisibility and just kill someone. There's Wixo. Speaking of getting killed, might be going pretty low here. That might won't finish him up, but
that's no flash. Yeah.
I mean, Babel had the wave where he wanted it. He was chilling, and now.
Yeah, that was like mega troll. I'll be honest. Like, there's no like salving that at all. That was just really crap.
Good face breaker. Baloo might be in trouble. The shielding is enough. End test.
Okay.
Will secure first blood as Wixo gets the kill. But remember, you've got that hunt passive. Babel can run him down, and 5 versus 3. Babel gets himself a double kill.
All right. I mean, I wasn't really sold on what Wixo was doing there, but you know what? He planned all of that out. He did the mind control Jedi mind tricks and got his AD carry an extra kill at the end of that one. So he's going to go forward here. Okay.
We have a replay, but Babel's out. It's fine.
So just a little, I don't know. It felt like Wixo was just stepping a little bit too far forward there. Obviously, the big blunder happened before then. But yeah, I mean, he survived a long time. You know, a surprisingly long time. You've got that W from Set, and you've also got the exhaust from Babel as well. So 2 things there that really just delayed that play, and ends up coming out on top for Granit.
Yeah. Nice little play there, but as we head back into the action, back into the Rift, the large wave getting pushed into Royal Cannon is Tristana though, so he can make pretty short work of the wave, even if he is going to use his shot onto Warzy. So Warzy has to be quite careful here. Royal Cannon might be feeling it now. He's got 6, but not going to commit.
He's going to be chilling out for the time being as we see both. We see Indecision hovering around the bot side, clearing out his jungle. Now the question is, Dan is very much more focused around clearing than doing anything else. You know, with this wave going to be bouncing at some point towards Granit, like, does Indecision decide to maybe try and make a play around the bot side of the map? Like, there is a dragon to be able to pick up as well. You've got the crab here. That was a bit long, though.
That's ridiculous. He threw it out as the face breaker came in. That's why it was so long. But even so, that was that
looked a bit
if ever I've seen one.
Fair enough. And there it is. Indecision is going to be around the bot side. Get that dragon with his team. Using that lane priority, Dusty now have to be quite careful when they're pushing up in the bot side of the map, because, you know, if you do push out in the lane, what's going to happen is you're going to get engaged when you have no summoners anymore. Hestia, although, has to be a little bit careful. Sawyer is hovering, is seen on this ward. Hestia should know this is happening and won't be falling victim to this one just yet. He's only like 15 CS down, which is pretty good for an Ornn into Darius. You'll take that one. Playing weak side and against Darius as well. Happy days.
Curious what the ultimate goal is though now. What is the game plan for Dusty? Dragon's been picked up, bot lane, a couple of kills have been picked up in the Vayne, starting to get into an okay position.
I wonder, okay, here we're going to get, before I answer that question, we are going to get a bit of a play here from Wixo.
Yep, the Call of Forge got into the bop, into the knock, the face breaker. Zombie didn't get to play League of Legends.
That was perfectly played though. That was really well done from Ornn with getting that combo down, getting that CC combo. No reaction there at all. Here comes the TP. Oh, Dusty.
It's a double teleport as well. Royal Cannon's coming in. He's got the instec. M-Test is condemned to die. As Babel knocks him into the wall. Double teleports are all coming in on the backup as well. They get themselves a knockup from Hezero. Dominus is used, and the double AD carries are free firing away. The hook goes a little bit wide, and Dusty going to answer out with a kill of their own.
All right, but a little bit more dedicated there for Dusty compared to Granit. I think they'll take that, honestly. I think Granit will be all right with that one. And Indecision might be able to get this top Herald as well, since everyone was flying towards the bot side of the map. That opens up the top side, which is where he was conveniently located as all of this was happening. So net gain, I would say, overall there for Granit. You asked me about, you know, what Dusty wants to do as far as kind of like wanting to win this game and their strengths right now. When you've got a Darius and a Renekton, and even a Gwen to a certain degree, like just finding fights, finding skirmishes, and the best way to do that is around objectives. Now, you can't do that now because Dragon's dead, and that's 3 minutes till that comes back up. Your dedication to bot side means that you're not going to be able to, you just lost the Herald as well, so that's not something you can contest either. And without these objectives being up, it's kind of hard to pull the trigger. So honestly, it'd be a little bit quiet for Dusty in this lane phase.
And just set the scene as well for this game is it's the final game for these teams. Nothing can really change for them anymore. Dusty are in that relegation spot for Group A. 3-12, it's not been a great split for them. And a good win might be all the confidence they need. But M-Test, good dodge away. But he's going to get slammed down by the showstopper. And Baybrawl going to be denied the kill. As Wixo is pretty fed right now as the support set.
He's pretty big. Aftershock picking up that kill as well. And can't really fault him for that one. It's all right. We'll give him a pass there. But 5 kills on Granit and all of them on the bot side of the map. Indecision's coming down to Hover. They're going for it. They're going to dive.
They've got the depth charge. They've got the condemn. The CC's coming in and Balloon misses the hook. Eats the face breaker and Indecision puts his thumbs up. Make sure they give Baybrawl the kill. Nope, he's denied. And here comes Sawyer. Ghost is on. He's looking to run them down. Baybrawl tumbles away, but he has no mana. And the needlework is going to secure another one for Sawyer.
Ooh.
Resetting out and gets the auto attack to get even more damage as M-Test will secure the kill with the Acafian Rain. And Dusty turning the play back around.
Good response there from Dusty. Sawyer coming in with that Ghost. 2 extra kills. And you need that. There was a shutdown on Vayne as well, plus that kill for M-Test, who's really been struggling, honestly, with the way this 2v2's gone in the bot side. Little bits, little scraps there, but you're able to pick them up. Small overstep from Granit, giving Dusty some life in this game.
Well, 10 minutes in, the gold lead is dead even between these teams. So Granit definitely doing a good job of kind of keeping themselves relevant, but I think it has been Dusty who've been pretty proactive in some areas. Sorry, it's Granit who've been proactive in some areas. So it's good on Dusty to actually pull himself back.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the gold is pretty much in favor of Dusty if you don't consider the supports. Like, there's a big support gold diff right here from Wixo and Baloo, but you don't really care that much about that. Dusty are in a pretty good spot, honestly, all in all. We'll have to see as well, though, after this lane phase ends, because you do have Darius, you do have Renekton, Renekton's playing in Tristana. It's not exactly a lane where you're expecting Renekton to do some crazy things. It isn't that easy. But these are champions that don't necessarily have the same kind of late game impact. We'll see how these team fights get played out. But can just get kited a little bit from the 280 carries on the side of Granit. We'll see whether that actually happens.
Stacking up the bleed onto his zero. He's going to get everything up. He's bleeding out. Zombie waiting for one more apprehend as Call of the Forge God's been thrown down. Zombie flashes with a Noxian Guillotine. Should be able to secure it. That was way too close.
That was so close. I was like, maybe that's a little bit much. I'm sure once you get the ultimate down, Zombie's not going to need the flash. But holy moly, why does Ornn do so much damage? All he's got is a fancy vest and some shoes, man. And his crystals. Like, I don't know what's going on right there, but like, that's
you would say
ridiculous.
A vest made of brambles is fancy.
Yeah?
We need to look at
when
your
was the last
wardrobe,
time you saw someone wear a vest made of brambles?
No, I've never seen that.
Okay, so obviously there's like a low supply of vests made of brambles IRL, and with that, maybe there's value in that, and then it starts becoming fashion. I don't know.
Look,
I'm not a guru. I'll be honest.
No one wore the meat dress until Lady Gaga did, and it wasn't fashionable then. It wasn't fashionable then, and it wasn't fashionable after.
That's a bit heresy. That is heretical, saying that anything Lady Gaga does.
It was iconic. It was definitely not fashionable. I didn't see people going to Primark and picking up a meat vest.
Maybe Primark just didn't stock the meat vest, okay? Maybe that was the issue. Maybe it's some capitalism, bro. It starts at the top, but it holds us down. Anywho.
First Tower Blood for Royal Cannon.
That's like 5 stacks, 5 plates as well, actually. For just
that's enough to buy a meat dress.
That is more than enough to buy a meat dress. Got 1.3k gold over Renekton there in that mid. That's crazy, actually. That was so much gold being funneled into her right there. She'll be very, very happy with that one.
Absolutely. We'll see what item Royal Cannon goes for. I feel like this is a Gale Force game if I was Royal Cannon. You really want that ability just to be able to get that little bit additional kite from all of the kind of close range champions that Dusty have put together. We'll see what he's picked up. But for now, Sawyer and Baloo just trying to steal themselves some chicken nuggets.
Uh-oh.
But I think there's an angry goat He's going to force him out of the jungle.
I guess that's all on the Amgi go. I mean, yeah, okay, maybe a little bit. Yeah, I can see that.
He summons a big ram. Oh, Wixo.
That's true. Yeah. There comes the face check. Wixo.
He's worth a shutdown. This is not something he wants to be giving up, but he's going to be doing so. He gets the blast going to safety, and Sawyer, 600 G's in the pocket.
Ooh, yeah, that's a pretty penny right there for a champion that scales incredibly hard and loves to buy damage items. Especially a champion like... Oh, okay.
Oh, Baybro.
Nah, he's good. He's chilling. He's chilling. Sawyer was more interested in the walls right there, so not much follow-up from Baloo. Doesn't have the ultimate either, right? So once you lose that Q, there's just nothing really else happening. Yeah, I think the point I was going to make, this is something that's kind of unique to champions that don't rush mythic items. For example, Gwen with the Nash's Tooth. Like the 2-item spike tends to be a little bit more than it would be on other champs, because getting that mythic completed is a big deal. And so if you can funnel resources into them in the early and like get them to that 2 items as fast as possible, it's really, really, really strong, really detrimental to the enemy team. And Sawyer's been able to do that with that 600 shutdown.
That's gonna be really big for him. He's got tier 2 boots as well. I think AD boots probably the best one you can get, really, looking at that Granit comp.
Yeah.
Even with the magic damage from the Diana, I see. I'm learning.
You are learning. But yeah, the auto attacks just a little bit too much from double ADC comps to not to go for those ninja tabbies or plated steel caps, whatever they're called now. They're still ninja tabby.
They're ninja tabby. They're ninja tabby. Don't worry. I've had this conversation a lot on this broadcast. But I did find out recently, Jamada told me, and if it turns out to be a lie, at Jamada, ninja tabby don't block on hit.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just auto attacks, isn't it?
Yeah, but the on hit of the auto attack doesn't get blocked.
Yeah, but things like GPQ I think would, because they count as an auto attack. I might be wrong there. There are certain abilities that count as autos. The ones that use up Sheen, basically, those abilities will still get cut down. I think that's the case, but I could be wrong. We'll see. We'll have to get Jamada to fact check that one for us with his big brain. His ability to use Google.
I also can have that ability. I just don't want to.
We're busy, man. What's he doing? Sitting in the green room, picking his nose.
I guarantee he's always eating. He's always eating.
I thought he was always sleeping.
It's a mixture of both. I think he does both actually at the same time.
Yo, that is, imagine that. Now that
he's got a ham and cheese toastie in his mouth while he's sleeping. Just munching away.
Imagine if we could photosynthesize, go sunbathing, take a nap, and you just thought it's you done for the day.
You just said you just sleep on the balcony.
Yeah, straight up. There's so many things wrong with being a human being, man. Why didn't we think of that?
I don't know, man. Lizards, I think lizards have it pretty rough. They have to warm up. They have to actually warm up at the start of the day. They have to go sit on a rock for like 20, 30 minutes. Just get their blood going.
Yeah, that does kind of suck, to be fair. But lizards are cool.
That feels. Anyway, everyone is congregating in the mid lane for a potential skirmish. Royal Cannon able to dodge away and gets a bunch of damage thrown out as they jump in with the Moonfall. Teleports are coming down, and this is the fight already thrown out. Royal Cannon able to find the first kill so far as Sawyer answers back out and his hero comes in. Everybody's in the ram jam. The 3-man knock up, and Sawyer will be next up on the menu. Shutdown picked up as they flash in forward, and Royal Cannon, a little bit interesting position there. It's a 2-4-2.
2-for-2 at the end of the day, but Granit with Hestero, their main big team fighting tool, wasn't available. Oh my goodness, I thought he was going to go over the wall with his W there. Wasn't available early on. If he'd been there at the start of the fight, I think that would have been a little bit different. Zombie on the flank though.
Zombie. Apprehend onto 2. That's all he needs. He gets himself the Q off. Baybraw trying to buy the space, but indecision's taken out by Zombie. No, Baybraw. I think you're getting tower dive, friend. There's a crocodile here. He's got that condemn. If he can land it perfectly, maybe he can find some kind of an outplay. He looks to topple away, but no, he's going down. Warzy just about survives, and the tower will fall as well.
3,000 gold lead now in the pocket of Dusty. It was the Dragon going over to a Granit, however, but still, pretty good team fight right there. It looked like to the start, the Granit were the ones coming out on top, especially with that early kill and the resets from Tristana, but was not to be. Well played there by Dusty. Strong skirmishing champions. Pre-20-minute team fights tends to go in their favor. We'll take another look at this one because Blue a little bit too far forward, and this ulti from the Diana is massive. Gets on the 3 people, and I thought from that point Granit would have that team fight, but Hess just now joining the fight, not able to be there from the beginning. I think that does play a part, and yep. Okay, Tristana was feeling it a little bit, was feeling a little bit hypey. It didn't quite work out for her though, unfortunately. And finishing off with Bayball going down at the end as well. I
think Royal Cannon thought it was Reset City, and then it wasn't.
It was Reset no.
Village.
Well, I was going to say something that rhymes with city, but either way.
Pity, right?
Yeah. Well, it was, even though it was ugly, but still. That is going to be the advantage Dusty right now. But okay, so here's the thing we talked about, right? Skirmishing champions, early game team fights, good stuff, yeah? As this game goes on, we'll see whether the Tristana and the Vayne can really start popping off. You've got to be able to create some space for them. This is why you need Hess in the fight early. You need the set as well to frontline so that you can get these autos off.
Zombie made his way in, but didn't have the ability to close the gap. So to be able to take the tower, it's Triforce.
Interesting. So Triforce is just more... Yeah, it's like, so he doesn't have the Stride Breaker to get that little bit of a jump.
Well, you don't get the jump anymore.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, then just ignore me.
Don't worry, I made that exact mistake yesterday. I totally forgot. I didn't even play the Stride Breaker champion. You don't get the jump anymore. It's just the slow like around you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually a pretty good balance change because that was disgusting. So fair enough. All right, well done, right. We like that. Sundra would be the alternative then, I guess, at this point, if you are playing Darius. Sundra, pretty good, honestly, and giving you that extra healing for someone like Darius is quite nice, but the Triforce is so much damage. And if you really just want to take over in a side lane, I think that's really good, honestly. And to be honest, when you're playing Darius, why not? Why not have that 1v1 strength? Why not go for that Triforce and just really take it to the enemy champion? Heslo's done a great job of surviving so far. As we're getting a bit of a... I don't know, Shelly's getting her steps in right here, being summoned way far away. It looks like the
you gotta get those footsteps in on your Fitbit.
Yeah, exactly.
The funniest thing is Sawyer placed it and then moved to that side of the map as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay. This is cheeky. They've been spotted though.
Yeah. It would be very quick, but...
Okay, this is perfect. We might even be able to get a second charge here.
Zombie gonna try his best to stop it, and they are actually gonna get that second charge out. Zombie making sure that Shelly doesn't fall victim. As I called him, Angry Goat Man. That's really important as well. The place on the map where this happened has huge implications for the rest of this game. The fact that that was around on the bot side. Look at that gold difference top side. Holy crap. It's like over 3,000 gold. 3.5k, closing in on 4. That is mental. Okay, so here we go. We're setting the scene right now, okay? This is it. If you're Zombie, honestly, in my opinion, I know we're following into the top side of the map, but I reckon you just sit in the bot side. You've almost got that inhibitor tower down already. If you can use your advantage, okay, if you can use that advantage to put pressure on the side of Granit and the bot side of the map, that opens up the top side, it opens up Baron, and that dies pretty fast when you've got a Gwen and a Kai'Sa, and you have tanks for it as well. And the thing is that if you can even get that inhibitor down, then it becomes even easier for you to try and make some Baron plays on the top side of the map. As you can see, though, Zombie just doing a little bit of globe-trotting right now. Went to the top side, it's now going back down to the bot side. Dragon is spawning in 25, and Dusty are going to be able to pick this one up for free. Keep your eyes on Zombie, though. This is where it's at, you know. Okay, not literally right now. In general, sorry, Mr. Zebra, I did kind of bait you in that one. In general, this is where it's going to happen for Dusty, right? Like, to see what he can do into this Ornn, the pressure that he can create, and what Dusty can do from that. But now, though, he obviously can't step up too far. The information is somewhat lacking. He will see the team starting to group up towards the top side, and Wazzy's job will be to hold on to this wave while MTES and Zombie secure the first dragon for Dusty. Another Infernal Soul. We're a little blessed in the terms of dragons. Means we get more action, more fighting for these Dragon Souls.
But I mean, I built up this whole thing about Zombie going bot side. He's just not doing it.
He's bot side now. He's just mid.
But it's now going to mid. Yeah, I just really think like you had a lot of vision on the top side around Baron. Like Dusty knew the Granit were like in that area. They knew what they were doing. And I really just think like you've got to provide some pressure. I think Zombie can do that. I think he's in that position to do it. I think he's in a good spot to do it. You can even see though from his item build, like he's going more for a teamfight orientated build. Like there's no reason to go Randuin's unless you're expecting to fight Tristana and Vayne. You obviously don't want that just into the Ornn. So yeah, he's maybe got that on his mind. But again, I think the pressure coming through from the Darius is something that can really benefit Dusty right here. Please do it, Zombie. Just keep pushing. Just go for it, man. Even if they come for you, bro. The rest of the team just goes for Baron.
I would like to see the team set up some vision so you can safely push here. You know, a couple of wards. They've got obviously that pink ward in the tri-brush. They've got the one by blue, and then they got the one by the mid lane. But the wolf camp completely blind for them. That kind of route down through the gate. You won't see someone until it's kind of too late, to be honest. So a couple of additional wards gives Zombie the space to work with.
It's like honestly, if Zombie has safe enough vision right there that if they were to catch him, it would be from like a max range Ornn ulti and then like people following through. That's so much time to kill Zombie. More than enough time for Dusty to just make a play onto the Baron.
Yeah,
something
true.
Along those lines. Like we're starting to see a little bit more now, setting up around Baron. Zombie's pushing a little bit far forwards here. Now this is it. Maybe you can't just go for that, you know, getting hits on the inhibitor for free and all that stuff. Maybe you can't, but that's fine. You know, you just want to set up that pressure. Yes, Zombie's pinging the next wave. There we go. They're doing it.
They're going to start it up. That's going to pull people over. He has got the teleport. And they're just playing the bait game here. This is what you wanted to see, and they're pulling it off. They step away, and now they're too slow. He should be able to hit his tower. Mid. He's got Sheen.
Yeah, Ornn walked mid because he wanted to try and respond to it, and bam. Now they've created space for Darius, and there it is, sorted. Good stuff, Dusty.
That's what we want to see. And with the Spellblade as well, able to really do some damage to this inhibitor.
Yep, and this is going to be big. Very easy to control the Baron pit when you've got bot inhib down. Perfectly. I love this. Dusty, you do not have to dedicate to Baron. You really don't have to. You're just creating space for Darius. This is perfect. This is what they want to do. And now you've got that pressure in the bot side. Darius has just been pushing, getting pressure bot side. You've got that without having to dedicate a player there because the inhibitor is down. Blue's going to get he's done so.
What a beautiful showstopper.
Yeah, that's sloppy. That's I was hyping Dusty up so bad, man. That was just sloppy. You can't get caught there because now you just lost pressure you set up.
Yeah, they're bringing in the teleport. Can this fight break out? This is going oh so low, so quick here. Warzi's popped the Dominus, and they're looking to try and find the fight. The knockup comes in, and the Baron is already secured, but the fight is on. Zombie trying to slide in, trying to find the knockup as Vayne free firing away for the moment. Zombie gets one reset, condemned into the wall, looking for the next reset. Can he find it? Coming in for a bit of a hit, or as Vayne goes oh so low. Stopwatch is used by Zombie, but he has nowhere to go. Finds the bleed kill, the Triumph heals him up, and Zombie will go down to the Crescent Slash. That was close.
Well played team fight right there from Granit. Zombie just not quite able to make it happen in the midst of all of those AD carries. M-Test gets insta-popped right here, gets caught by the Ornn ulti, followed up. There's nothing that he can do. And this is a 4v5 and basically a 3v5 when you instantly lose your AD carry like that. But Baybrawl with that condemn was huge. The rest of the fight now for Dusty is solely on Zombie's shoulders. I can't believe this bleed kills her. Straight up does. Just straight up murks her on that last tick.
It's one of those things about Darius where you kind of forget how much damage the bleed does unless you play Darius. It's like a fully stat bleed from Darius does a lot of damage and you just forget it.
Absolutely. And the thing is as well, right? So on the outside of just that team fight, like this was just so smart from Granit because they found that pick, and that's exactly how you break a situation like they found themselves in. You've got to be able to pull the trigger and actually catch Dusty, and they were able to do that. And when Baloo went down, then they forced the Baron, and now suddenly it's Dusty who has to react into you. That's how you find those windows, and they did it perfectly. They did it really, really, really well. Found the team fight afterwards too, and now they're in position to take this third dragon.
Granit moving up here. And Dusty they're just playing on the opposite side of them. They are doing such a good job of keeping Granit at arm's length at all times. And it's making Granit's life so hard because they're playing so reactive, so responsive, but this just gives all the free time for these top lane or these whatever lane they're in to take the damage or take the tower. Indecision will answer out with the third dragon of the game for Granit, so that's one off Soul. But no Baron on the side of Dusty, and they're the ones who are sieging. They're the ones who find the hook onto his hero as the Call of the Forge God comes down into the showstopper. The knockup, and he lands into one. The Facebreaker is huge. Everybody is knocked up. Everybody is in the bounce house. Dunks are coming out, and the Needleworks trying to find that additional little bit of damage. Zombie heals up for now, but he is chased down. He is taken down. He is shut down. And Baloo will be next up. He is going to be going solo, and Royal Cannon gets himself the double kill.
All right, 2 people survive right there on the siege from Dusty, Sawyer and M-Test. But Granit, a little bit slow to respond to that push. I thought maybe actually Dusty had just kind of found what they wanted to get that free pick. You don't have to engage this one, lads. You don't have to do that at all. You just get the tower and you dip. Granit, though, with that turnaround from the Ornn, with the Diana ulti as well, it's so strong. And just keep your eyes on Tristana and Vayne. Like, if these two aren't touched, you know, like the team fight tools from the Diana, from the Ornn, are enough to create so much space for those 280 carries that they just run down the opponents. And if you're in a situation like that, it's GG for that fight.
Yeah, it really is. Well, we're now 29 minutes in. 2 Wormfallen sacrifices on the side of Granit. The ornaments coming in.
That was it, really. That was the end of your sentence.
That was it. They've got the Ornn upgrades. They've got those extra half items.
And as if the scaling wasn't scary enough from those two, from the 280 carries, yeah, double Kraken Slayer with the upgrades. Do you know what that's called? The Kraken Slayer Ornn upgrade?
It's Wormfallen Sacrifice. I did just say it.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
A bit
it's
random.
Giga edgy. I can't remember what Rocket Belt's called. It might just be called Rocket Belt because it's the. No, because it used to be a Proto Belt.
Yeah.
I actually can't remember what it's called.
Shame on you, man. Shame on you.
We
We just got a little bit of a lag here in this game, guys. That's why we got the pause. Granit in a pretty good setup here to use the lanes to get the push in. We've got Baron spawning in 2 minutes as well. All right, so that's the next thing on the mind. Let's play it.
It's getting close. It's getting close. Obviously, the Baron was picked up by Granit, but we don't actually have a Baron gold graph. But the gold deficit would have actually been there. Would have been a gold deficit from the Baron because of what Dusty had been able to pick up. They got the tower, tier 2 tower, and the tier 3 tower on the top side. They have an open inhibitor top side, a dead inhibitor mid for a little bit longer still. It's at a point where one good team fight and Dusty can just win the game. Like, they really have minimal things they need to push and take to actually get the win. So it's very much in Granit's hands to turn this game around, and they're doing a great job of doing that because there was a gold lead, but the gold lead has now flipped around the other way. It is now Granit who have the gold. They have the advantage. And when you've also got those kind of extra half items from the ornaments as well, that gold lead actually feels a little bit bigger just because of the extra damage. Fortified Crest, upgraded Aero Pack is the name of. That's such a stupid name of
someone was paid to make that name, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
Upgraded Aero Pack. What would you call it?
Jetpack Extreme.
Jetpack.
With no E at the beginning of Extreme.
I just think Jetpack.
Extreme.
Jetpack's quite cool.
What about Giga Jetpack? Turbo Giga Jetpack. Yes. Turbo Giga Jetpack.
But they're all edgy. Like Wormfallen Sacrifice. Oh my.
It is a fantasy game, Jake. I think that they get some, in a world where Viego and Kayn exist, they get some points for being edgy because League of Legends for you. But
I'm probably in the same camp as a lot of people. Why is Viego hot? I agree, man. I agree. I was expecting some Carthus, but like just horrific looking Carthus, and instead we got a guy who's hotter than someone I'll ever look. Like I could try. I could have plastic surgery and I wouldn't look that good. God damn it.
It is a bit frustrating, isn't it, when you realise that there are beautiful people in this world.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Beautiful people.
Literally, how dare they? But outside of beautiful people, we've got a beautiful game of League of Legends right here, with Granit having turned this one around. They were a little bit further behind early on into that mid-game. Dusty, with the Darius specifically, was getting quite far ahead, able to leverage that pressure, with that kind of split push power, playing around the Baron, playing around the bot side push with Darius. But since they lost the team fight, since they lost the Baron, the fact that Granit now have the pressure, they can just group up and they can go for whatever objective they want to go for. And now it's Dusty who has to respond into them, and that makes it really tough to execute now. And I think the usefulness of the Darius in that split push has definitely fallen off. Renekton as well, not able to do too much in these team fights. Yeah, I mean Renekton's been struggling this game. Look at that.
He well and truly is going team fighting as well. He's got the chains finished up. You got the same for Zero, but that's kind of standard for something like a Norn. But Chains on the Darius is like, yeah, I exist to help the team.
Absolutely. And I think, honestly, it's the... I mean, he kind of has to fight around his team because that's just the situation they find themselves in right now. But at the same time, I wouldn't be opposed to just putting all your eggs in the split push basket and just Hail Mary, you know. We'll try it. We'll just try and split push to win. Because these team fights are probably not going to work out in their favor unless you get like a really good flank off. He's not going to be able to get this before this. Okay.
He's going to get jumped onto. I think he's just going to die here, to be honest. No, GA gets himself the apprehender. Heal the damage. The buster shot as they look for the knock up onto Zombie. He's able to survive for now, but the rest of the team are making their way over, and Zombie going to get auto-attacked over the wall. Can't sustain and can't get away. That is going to be the end of him.
Yeah, but that might just be the end of the hopes for Dusty in this game. Not able to do anything on the other side of the map. Just a free kill, basically, over to Granit right here. You know it's bad when your Darius is getting run down by the Tristana. We've reached that point in the game right here.
Oh, test!
Oh, dear.
Oh, that is so tragic. Sawyer thinks he's not been seen, but he has been seen. And Royal Cannon looks to run him down. Sawyer, it's end of days for you, friend.
All right. Do they just push or...
Wait.
Oh, Blue's out.
Test.
See you later, baby.
He does pop the GA from Baloo. Has got the ultimate available for now. He's going to try and finish up this inhibitor. Both of these players trying to get the inhibitor. Jumps in and can't find himself the kill. Royal Cannon is unstoppable. Baloo, you traitor.
Hey, man. I only know one of those guys survived, the other one didn't. So obviously, M-Test is the noob. He's the feeder.
The crazy thing is how much M-Test did there. I actually think if he had Baloo, they would have double killed and got the inhib.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. We'll see. Granit are double TPing in for this Baron here. They've just picked up the Infernal Soul as well. Yeah, this is where things get really scary for Dusty. You're now going to have to defend versus Soul plus a Baron. Not going to be easy to do that.
Oh, my lord.
Yeah, it dies really fast. You've got great... You just group now for Granit. You just group, and it's pretty much all Shiro going to be in this game here. Zombie almost runs away from this one, gets the escape from the Buster shot, but the thing is at this point as well, like, we can't see the minimap because we've got a pip, but it's just like... I mean, you can't see the minimap in this overview anyway, but unless Dusty are doing something on the top side of the map, there's just no point for Zombie being up that far. You're not going to get anything out of it, and Zombie can't fight Tristana in the 1v1, so there's really no threat. Kind of sucks overall there for Dusty. Baloo with a great escape. Whoop! Just going to get out of that one. Kind of cheeky. Yeah, I don't know whether they've been able to do too much, honestly. Maybe they could have done something more there. But yeah, Granit now just grouping up, pushing down mid with Baron. And that's all.
Yeah, I think that might be game. I think Sawyer might agree with that because he's giving Blue Buff a haircut.
They're going all into the split push. This is what I said. It's the Hail Mary.
They are really Hail Marying it, but M-Test, he is jumped onto. God. He is popped. Cannon finds the kill. Warzy flashes away as Sawyer jumps in with the needlework, trying to kill Baybro. Baybro able to survive, but now pops himself the revive, and Sawyer has to stopwatch. Zombies onto that flank. He's going to be zoned away. Stopwatch won't save the day here, and Granit will hand Dusty their 13th loss of the season. Rubbing salt in the wound and going out in style. Granit take the win.
Dusty looking pretty good to begin with, and in that mid game, but Granit just finding ways to get back into the game. Really well played by these guys. Just a class above right there from Dusty. And the double ADC comp, Tristana mid, Vayne bot, 700 and 500 gold bounties respectively towards the end of that game. They did pretty well.
They did very well. That was a very good game from the side of Granit. Again, it was a game where it looked like it had kind of started the other way around, but it got flipped pretty quickly, and Granit just superior team fighting. It's probably the best. Yep. That's probably the best way I could really word that. Anyway, it's time for us to throw to a break. When we're back, we'll be back with the analyst desk, talk a little bit more about that game. So grab a water. See you in a moment.